All right. So now we're doing freeCodeCamp, JavaScript algorithms and data structures beta. Build a Pokemon Search App project. All right. So now we're going to build a Pokemon Search App. There we go. In this project, we'll build an app that will search for Pokemon by name or ID and display the results to the user. To retrieve the Pokemon data and images, we're going to use freeCodeCamp's PokéAPI Proxy. All right, so let's go over here and check this out before we get into this. Okay, there we go. So for this thing, the usage, we're going to use the endpoint this thing to see a list of all Pokemon names, ID numbers, and URLs. So this thing, we're going to click it down here. What this is this whole thing right here, which is going to be, there's going to be like a pretty print up here on Chrome. I don't know if it's going to be on the other ones, but on Chrome, it's right here. And when we click that, it actually puts it out like this. And so we'll see we've got an object here. This is one of those API objects like we learned in the other lessons. And then we've got a count, what is this thing called? A count property with 1302 in it. So there's 1302 of these. And then we've also got a results property, which is an array with all these. And inside of the array, we've got the elements with all these Pokemon in them, like 1 Bulbasaur, 2 Ivysaur, and on down. Okay. So let's go back over here. We're going to use the endpoint this thing. So we're going to have this, but we're also going to have with name or ID afterwards, like 1, like this, and we'll get something like this, or we can put Bulbasaur in there as well. And we'll get this thing right here, okay? And it's going to show us Bulbasaur's information. Let's go back over here again. And it's going to be where name or ID, like we just saw, we could put 1 or Bulbasaur, is the Pokemon's name or ID number, right? And note that Pokemon names should be lowercase. So these are always lowercase right here. So if like the people put uppercase Bulbasaur or camel case or whatever, it's got to be lowercase to open the URL. All right, so let's go back over here one more time. And they also have to have the special characters removed. There's not going to be any special characters, and be dash separated as well. There's not going to be any dashes either. We don't got to worry about that. Also, if the Pokemon has either a female or male symbol as part of its name, the format is name-f or name-m. We don't have to worry about that either. All right, so here's some example requests, and we're going to click on any of these. So there's the thing we just looked at, that thing. There's also going to be this thing right here, like Pikachu and all this, just like the Bulbasaur thing. And then it's just like the same thing. Okay, so you put the name or the number, and it will give you either this Bulbasaur, or if we put 1, it'll give us Bulbasaur like that, right? So that's how that thing works. We'll use this in just a little bit. So we're going to build an app that is functionally similar to this right here. All right, so let's open this up. All right, so it's going to be like this, and if we put 1 right here, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of Squirtle and red. Let's just put 1 like that. We can see Bulbasaur right here comes up. It's got a height of this, a weight of this, a height of this. You can see its types, and you can also see its HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed right there. All right. So there's all that. We're going to need all these to be left up there. So let's just leave them like that. Actually, we don't need this one, but we will need these two. All right, so we've got that going on, and we're going to start with these user stories. So we're going to start off by doing the HTML where we put all these IDs in there, and we'll do that right now. So let's come over here to our text editor, whatever one you have. I don't know how to use any other one, but what's this called? What is this called? VS Studio, VS Code. Yeah, anyway, I know how to use this one, so we'll do the new file, text file, select language, HTML, get that, and then we'll start off with the exclamation point, press enter. We'll do a Control A, Control C, come back over here, and do a Control V right here. And now we've got the boilerplate. So now that we do that, now that we've done that, let's get all these inputs and all this stuff, right? So we'll start off with const. Oops. We'll do const, and we'll have the input and the button to start off with. So we'll do const search input, const search input, right, equals document dot get element by ID. And then inside of here, we'll do search. Why does that look weird? Oh, it's because we're not doing freaking JavaScript. Hold on. We're going to start off with a input element. We'll do input. And there's that. So now let's put the ID equals search hyphen input. All right. Now let's go to the next line. We'll do button, close button. We'll do ID on this one. That's not it. ID equals, and we'll say search button. Search button. All right. And then we'll have the divs after that. So we'll do div, close div, ID equals whatever. ID equals Pokemon. Let's just do Pokemon to start. Pokemon like that. And then we'll take this. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new divs. All right. So let's take this, copy it, drop off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Let's change this one to, we'll change this first one to Pokemon hyphen ID. We'll do the next one. It's going to be, no, excuse me, name. Name. Then we'll do hyphen ID here. Then we'll do weight. We will do height. This one will do types. This one will do HP. Then we'll do attack, then defense, attack, then defense. Then we're going to do special attack and special defense, special attack hyphen attack. Special defense right here, special hyphen defense. And then this one, we're going to do speed. All right. So those are good for these ones, but we're also going to need to do another one for sprite. If we look at this 16, and that sprite right there is going to be taking care of, where's that? You see how it says sprites right here? This thing is for the picture of the Pokemon. So we're going to need to put the pictures there. So we're going to have to make one more div, and we'll call it sprite hyphen container, like that, right? So now we've got all these going on like that. So now we can go, actually, we need to access the JavaScript. So we'll come down here, make a script tag, close script, and we'll say source src equals, and the source we're going to go for is the script.js. All right. So now we're accessing this thing. So let's get rid of this because that's all we need to do there. Open up the JavaScript and let's start over here. So we'll start off by doing the document.getElementsIDs, get element by ID stuff. So we'll say const. And we'll start off with the search one, right? So we'll say const search input equals document.getElement by ID. And this one is going to be Pokemon hyphen ID to start with. What? No. Search input. Search hyphen input. There we go. All right. So let's cap that off with a semicolon. Let's actually get rid of this right now because some of them aren't going to have two. Let's grab this, copy it, drop it off once, paste it, then highlight it up to here, copy it, and then drop it off. Just do Control V, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I think there's 14 of them. Oh, that's not it. I think there's 14 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. So 14 is the number we're going to have there, right? So now let's change these all up. We'll have a search input is first. Then we're going to have Search button is second. We can just look over here to a reference button because they're all the same. Right, this one we're going to do Pokemon name, right? Instead of usually doing name, we're going to do Pokemon name because Pokemon name. Because we're going to have to access at some point this name right here. So we're going to have to use name for this. We're going to have to use ID for this, height for this, types for this, and weight for this. So we got to put Pokemon in front of all these for the references to the IDs, all right? So that's what we're doing here. Pokemon name. The next one we're going to do is Pokemon ID. So Pokemon ID. We'll do Pokemon weight. Let me just take this. I'm just going to take Pokemon right here. Copy that. Drop it off here. Weights. Then we're going to do Pokemon height. Then we're going to do Pokemon types. Pokemon types. Then we can just do regular one words for the rest of them. We can just say ID here. We'll do, no, that's not ID. HP. HP, then attack, then defense. Then we'll do special attack. So special camel case attack. Special defense camel case, special defense. Then we'll do speed. And this one's going to be Pokemon container. What was it? A sprite container. Sprites container. Let's go look. What did we do? Sprite container. No, sprite container. There we go. Sprite container. So let's come over here. That was going to be horrible if we left it like that. Let's come over here and do a sprite container on the last one. Sprite container. There we go. All right, so that should be good. Let's look at this. Let's open up the index. Let's close the preview and the console and take a look at these just to make sure we're good. Pokemon name. Hold on. Search input, search button. Okay, so we got to do these two. Search input hyphen input hyphen button hyphen button. All right. And then Pokemon ID, Pokemon name. So let's get this. Pokemon hyphen name. Pokemon hyphen ID. Weight, height. So let's take weight. Height. I just don't want to type right now. Types. Let's change this types to Pokemon capital T for types. HP. No. No. Okay. HP. That wasn't it. Attack. Come on. I am messing up. Attack. Defense. Special attack. Oh my goodness. Special defense. Speed. And sprite container. And sprite container. Feel free to fast forward. But if you're already here, it's too late. All right, so there's that. All right, so now that we've got those done, now we're going to have to do something else, right? So let's go over here to the instructions. Let's get rid of the HTML again, and then let's look. So the first thing it says here is when search input ID element contains the value red and the search button element is clicked, an alert should appear with the text Pokemon not found. Right? So like if we come over here and we say red, Pokemon not found, just like that, right? So for that, we're going to have to do something, right? So let's come over here to the build Pokemon Search App. Let's open this up and let's come down to the thing we did right before this. So learn asynchronous programming by building an FCC forum leaderboard, right? So let's click the last one, 55 right here, and let's check this stuff out. So for the alert, we're going to have to put the alert inside of the where is it? The fetch data thing inside the error thing, the catch thing with the try thing. If you remember from when we did this, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I forgot about this, but we check this thing out right here. What we're going to do now is this async thing. So while we're at it, we can just take this from 96 to 88 like that, copy it, and just come over here and drop it off right here, because this is the next thing we're going to do, right? So we've got the fetch data async, all this stuff with the try and the const res, await, and then fetch, all right? So what we're going to fetch, we're not going to fetch the forum latest, which was, where's forum latest? Where's even that? Which was something that I don't remember. Forum latest, this thing. Oh, it was this URL. We're going to use the URL over here. So what the URL we're going to put in there is going to be this one right. No. Oh, we should have kept that other thing open. All right, let's go open that thing. Here's this. We're going to be using this thing right here. I guess it's the same as this, but whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this right here, this the use at endpoint thing. So this thing right here, we're going to copy this, and we're going to put this inside of this where the forum latest thing is. Actually, we should probably do it like they did it. Let's do a const. Let's do no, because we still have to do another thing. Let's do this right here, and we can see that it has this name or ID inside of the brackets, right? So let's wrap this whole thing right here inside of a template literal like that, okay? So let's put in front of these brackets, we're going to put what is this? A $sign to make this thing an embedded expression, right? So instead of name or ID right here, we're going to do something to where it gives us either, it's going to give us either name or this ID, either this name or this ID. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to have search input, because that thing is going to be this search input right here. This is where the name or ID is going to come out from, like the one search or Bulbasaur. Search, that's where that's what's going to come in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say let's make another thing. We'll say const name, Pokemon name or ID. Let's put that Pokemon name or ID equals, all right? And so this is going to be the search input. Let's open up the preview. It's not there anymore. Anyway, it's going to be the search input, which is the same as this thing, right here. All right, we'll say it equals search input dot value, right? So whatever they put in there. And we're also going to make it, remember it said we need to make it lowercase. So it should be lowercase. So we're going to have this dot to lowercase like that, right? So we're going to put this inside here. So now it's going to fetch whatever this thing is. It's going to fetch this thing right here, Poke.proxy freeCodeCamp rocks API Pokemon, and it's either going to be a 1 or a Bulbasaur, right? Because that's what goes in there. If we put Bulbasaur in there like this, boom, makes it happen, right? And there we go. Let's finish this up and then we'll test it out, right? So we've also got this console data equals await res.json. So that's going to be pointing at this res right here. So this res is this res. So pretty much that's the end of this part right now. We're going to have to change up this show latest posts to another thing, but we'll do that in just a little bit. But also, like it says right here, we're going to have to do when the search input element contains the value red and the search button ID element is clicked, this alert should appear. Like we saw the alert over on this thing, right? Put red, search, there's the alert. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that alert right here above the console.log in the catch, all right? So we'll say alert. If there's an error, we'll say Pokemon not found inside of these quotes. Pokemon not found. Thusly. Pardon me. Actually, let's just take this one since it's got that funny E. Boom. Pokemon not found. There we go. All right. So now we've got that. So now what we got to do is we got to make the thing that's the equivalent to, where are we? The fetch data. This function call right here. So it's going to be like this: const show latest posts and data, and then we're going to destructure the data, which the data is all this stuff right here. We're going to destructure it into stats, sprites, ID, name, whatever, all the stuff that we got to use, right? So now let's do that. We're going to come down here at the end. We're going to say, what was it? Show latest post. We're going to call it get Pokemon, right? We're going to say get Pokemon info. How about that? We'll say const set. How about set Pokemon info? Set Pokemon info, right? And what that's going to equal is data. And then we're going to have this and this, right? So this data right here is going to be this data right here once we do the function call, right? So let's come down here and make this thing. So the first thing we're going to need to do is destructure it, just like here, there, how we're destructuring topic lists in users from whatever data came out of this one. What we're going to do here is we're going to destructure all that stuff we're going to use. So we'll say const, we'll have the object space, bring it back. And what we're going to destructure is we're going to be using height, ID, name, sprites, stats, types, and weight. All right. So this thing's in alphabetical order, but let's do it in the order of this stuff. So we're going to do name, ID, weight, height, types, and then we'll do stats and sprites. Okay, I think that's all there is. Let's see how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's count up 7 while we're doing this. So we're going to start off with name. We'll do name, ID, weight, height, types, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sprites, stats. I think that's what the other two were, sprites and stats. Let's go make sure real quick. Stats. So yeah, we got stat right here. Stats. We got stats right here. And we got sprites right here. All right. So that's what we need. That's what we need right here. And that's why we had to change these to Pokemon weight, Pokemon type, because these are going to be used over here, right? And we can't just be mixing this stuff up, even though these are local scope, because we're going to be accessing these inside of this thing too, right? So what all these are going to equal is data, just like it is on this thing, how it's const the object with the property names equals data, right? That's how we destructure this object. There we go. All right. So now that we've got that, let's start with the first thing, which is we're going to be needing to get the Pokemon name. Okay. So to get that, we're going to do the Pokemon name dot text content equals whatever the name is. So like right here, when we say 1, this thing right here, this Bulbasaur, is inside of the text content of the text content of the name div for this particular JavaScript right here. All right. So we'll do over here, we'll say Pokemon name dot text content. All right, equals. And since we're going to have to put all these, we're going to have to put whichever corresponding variable name over here into this, we're going to have a template literal, right? So we're going to do that. And all we need is the name. So we could do this. We could say, what is this? We could say name inside of here, name like that. But what that's going to give us is going to be this data.name, and the data.name would just be lowercase Bulbasaur. I'm not into that. I want it to be uppercase. I want it to be title case. So I want the B to be uppercase and the rest to be lowercase. So what we're going to do here is we'll say name at 0. So the B in Bulbasaur, or the S in Squirtle, or whatever. And then we're going to say that dot to uppercase. And then since we're inside of this, what is this thing called? Embedded expression. We're going to say plus, and then we'll say name dot slice. We'll use the slice method on that, and we'll start at 1, all right? Because if we started at 0, we'd put the whole thing in there, and it would be pointless to have slice anyway. But if we start at 1, we start at the U in Bulbasaur, right? So now that we've got this, we can come up here. We've actually got enough for this thing to where we can come up here and say set Pokemon info inside of this thing. So we'll say set Pokemon info, and we'll run data through it like that. Just like over here, how we're doing show latest posts right here and running data through it, right? So let's back this up one. All right, so now that we've got that, we've got something that we can do, we can look at. So let's put the event listener on this thing. And while we're at it, let's put some words in that button. Let's come over here to the button, put search in there. How about that? Search. Search, get you good. Search like that, all right? So now that we've got that, let's come over here and let's make an event listener. Let's cap this off with a semicolon. Come down here. That's not a semicolon. Cap this off with a semicolon. Come down here. We'll say search button. Is that what it is? Search button dot add event listener. Dot add event listener. All right. And then we'll have this right here. We'll say it's a click event. We'll do a comma. And for after that, what we're going to do is we're going to have the E for the event. We'll have the arrow in the set of curly braces. We'll cap this thing off with a semicolon. Come back over here. Come back over here. Drop it down. And inside here, we'll do the thing we got to do for the event listener. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to do that prevent default thing that we usually do. Like over here. Is there even an event listener over here? No, there's no. Anyway, we're going to do the prevent default thing over here. We'll do the E dot prevent default. Prevent default. All right. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then the second thing we're going to do is call this we're going to call this, let's call this fetch data get Pokemon like that, right? So we're going to call this get Pokemon thing right here. After that, thusly, right? So now if we push 1, search, come on. Come on. What's the matter? What's the matter? All right, so we got function 2 uppercase, native code. Oh, don't forget after the 2 uppercase, the those things. Let's get rid of all these. I just want 1 up there. Pikachu, why not? There we go. Pikachu, look, it has his name. Woo! We got the 2 uppercase, so this is the 0. And then boom, if we didn't have that, if we didn't have the 2 uppercase, and we did it, oh, come on. And we did Pikachu, search, we just get lowercase. Well, I don't like that. So we'll do it like this. Pikachu, search, boom, look at that. Now we got something going on. So now all we got to do is just fill the rest of this thing up with the other fields that we need to fill up, and we're golden, all right? So let's do the next thing, which is going to be the height and the weight. Pardon me, the ID, the height, and the weight. So we'll do Pokemon ID, no. We'll come up here and grab Pokemon ID. Copy that. Drop it off. Dot text content. dot text content equals, and these three are going to not be like this. So all we have to do is just have a, what is that? A template literal, cap that off with a semicolon, cap this one off with a semicolon too. And then what we'll do here is we'll take this, copy it and drop it down 1-2 times like this. We'll change the second one to height, and then the third one to weight. And they got to be in this order because that's what they say over here. It's got to be Pokemon, name, ID, weight, height, HP attack, blah, 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 in order. Or the thing is going to, it'll work. This will work, but it won't pass, all right? So now we've got Pokemon ID, Pokemon height, and Pokemon weight right here. So for the ID, what we want is we're going to have a number sign with a 1 after it, or a number sign with whatever after it. Like here it says number 25, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to have a number sign like this. We're going to have the hashtag. Then we're going to do a template literal after the hashtag. And we're going to put inside here ID, all right? So it's going to do the data.id, which is the data, this is the data.id, which is 1 right here, right? So ID like that. And then we're going to have the height is what? The height, yes, the height now. So we'll put height, HEIGHT, because it has height. Where is it? No, we're going to have to do weight first. Let's do weight first. How bad? Weight. Then we'll do height. Glad I caught that. That messed me up in rehearsal. We'll do weight. Then we'll do height on the next one. And we'll do, that's not height like this. Then we're going to do a colon, space. And remember, in regular programming, we don't have to work with this strict program. It's going to be a lot easier, right? It was just we've got this strict test thing that we got to deal with as well, right? So we got weight, we got height, and then we're going to do another embedded expression. Let's just take this one right here, drop it off here and here, and we'll put weight here. We'll put this weight here. And this height here. All right. Let's put Pikachu in. Check it out. Boom. Look at that. We got weight 60, height 40, looking great. All right. Other thing though, I don't want to hit the search button anymore. Let's do the event listener where we can do the key down. All right. So let's do, what is it? Search input. Let's do search input. Dot add event listener, all right? And for that, we'll do the key down event, comma, E, arrow, curly braces, bring it down. We'll also cap that off with a semicolon. Inside of here, what we're going to do is say if e.key equals, triple equals, enter, we're going to say search button, so this thing, with the click method on it. So dot click, like that, right? Cap that off with a semicolon. All right, so now we can say Pikachu, enter, boom. Although, when we select Pikachu, I'm going to get rid of Pikachu. Get out of here. We can just say one enter like that, Bulbasaur like that. There we go. The Pikachu's more famous. But if you're already here, the SEO works, so we don't need to put Pikachu all up in this thing. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, there's that. The key down works, and we've got this stuff going on right here. Cool. So now that we've got that going on, we're going to have to do the next thing. So we've got the name, we've got the number, we've got the weight, we've got the height, all right? Now we're going to need these things, the attack and whatever, right? The HP, whatever. What was it? HP attack defense. Okay, cool. So for that one, okay, for that one, actually, before we do that one, let's put the picture in, all right? So let's come down here. We're going to do the sprite. So we'll come down here in between these two, because these are going to be two different sections, and we're going to do the sprite container, right? So we'll come over here and we'll grab the sprite container, because now we're going to put this picture in. Well, it's not going to be this picture, but you'll see what it looks like. It doesn't look like that at all. We'll put sprite container dot inner HTML, right? And what that's going to equal is we're going to have another template literal, and what we're going to put in here is an image tag, all right? So we're going to throw an IMG in there, like that. IMG thusly, right? So for this one, what we're going to do for that is we're going to have the source be, we're going to have src equal, and the source we're going to put in it is going to be this thing right here, sprites dot front default, okay? That's going to be the front of Bulbasaur. So we'll say it's going to be sprites. So first we're going to put a template, pardon me, an embedded expression in there. We'll do sprites, all right, which is this sprites right here, dot, and then we'll say, what was it, front default? Let's just come over here and take that. We're going to get front default right here. Just double click this one, copy it, and we'll put this here. Because this thing, if we go and take this URL, copy it, open up another one, drop it, open it, we'll get this Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur, everybody. Anyway, so we got that right there. So let's come over here, put a 1 in there, 1 enter, and there we go. Now we got Bulbasaur's picture. Awesome. So now that we've got that, let's come down here. So now that we've got that, actually, you know what? While we're at it, we should put the alt text in here, because that's the proper way to do images, just for accessibility. So let's put the alt text in there, equals. We'll put the quotes like this, and then we'll put the embedded expression. And in this one, we'll put the name of the guy. We'll put name like this, and that should be good, right? So it'll say Bulbasaur as the alt text when it comes up, right? So now that we've got that one done, let's take care of the HP. Let's take care of all these, like the HP, attack, defense, whatever, right? And so all we need for this, we don't have to label them. You can in the CSS if you feel like it, but all we're gonna have to do is just get these numbers and throw them in there, like with 35, whatever, right? So for this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with HP dot inner HTML, right? We're gonna do HP, attack, defense, special attack, and all that stuff, right? So let's come down here. We'll say HP dot inner, pardon me, dot text content equals, and what this is going to equal is we're just going to get this, since all we need is the number. All we have to do is get stats dot base stat. So this stats dot base stat right here, and it's going to give us 45. Except for the thing is, the stats thing is an array, is an object with an array in it, right? This is, pardon me, the stats property is an array. So we're going to get stats at 0, which would be this one. The HP would be stats at 0 at dot base stat. I'll show you this, all right? So let's come over here. So we're going to say stats, all right, which is the same as data dot stats right here. So stats at 0. So that's pointing at this object right here, which is its stats at 0. And then dot base stat right here, which is going to give us the 45, right? So stats at 0 dot base stat. Base, hold on. Let's just come over here. Click that, double click that, copy it, come over here, paste it, all right? And then throw a semicolon on that. So now when we put 1 like that, you can see we've got the 45 right there, which would be where the Pikachu, let's put Pikachu back in. Let's get rid of this, 25. All right, so you see the 35 there, and there's the 35 right there, right? So now that we've got the HP, let's just select all 38 to all 37, copy that, drop it off. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So if drop this thing off 5 times right here at the end of 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we'll change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to get HP. And this one's going to be, what is it? Let's look at these. Attack, defense, special attack, special defense. So we've got attack, defense. Then we'll do special attack, camel case on that one, special defense, special defense. Then we'll do speed right here on the last one. All right. Let's get rid of 1. Let's put 25. Search. 35, 55, 55. 35, 55. 35, 55. Okay. 35, 55, 40, 50, 50, 90. 35, 55, 40, 40, 50, 90. All right. Cool. So we've got all those taken care of. All right. So now all we need to do is this thing where we put the types in there, right? So this one's going to have to, let me show you on this over here, right? So down here at types, right here, we see types is just like stats where it's an array, except for we're going to have to put not just one thing in it. We're going to have to put this, we're going to have to put types at 1, types at 0, at .type, .name, and we're going to have to do this one too, at 1 .type, .name, right? So for this one, we're going to have to do a map method to map through all the elements inside of the types array, okay? So for that one, we'll come down here and we'll just, since this is going to be another style, we'll just separate this one and we'll say Pokemon types, all right? Pokemon types, which is what it's called up here. Pokemon types, all right? That's going to, we're going to do the .inner HTML on that one, right? So .inner HTML. Pardon me. So for that one, what we're going to do is have that equal, and then we'll do, for this one, we will have that equal types, right? So we're accessing this types right here. Data.types, data.types. So we're accessing this types right here. And we know that that types over here is an array, right? So we're going to say types. Where are we? Types dot map, because it's an array, right? And we know that an array is filled with objects, so the parameter is going to be object. All right. Then we're going to have the arrow, and we're going to have the object like that, the empty object. Let's cap this thing off with a semicolon. Semicolon, where you at? Boom. All right. So now that we've got that going on, what we're going to put inside of this thing, no, we're not. Yeah, we are. What we're going to put inside of this thing is a template literal, okay? Because we're going to make a couple of span elements. One of them is going to say, in Bulbasaur's case, one of them is going to say grass. The other one's going to say poison, okay? So we'll do a span element inside of here. So since we're doing that, let's do a, what should we do? How should we make this happen? Because we're running out of space if you can't tell. Let's get rid of this stuff. Where are we? Right here? All right. So for this one, let's do a, no, we don't even need this object, honestly. We're just going to put it, let's just implicitly return it, a template literal, and drag this down instead, okay? So now that we've got that, we're going to put a span in there, right? So span. So get rid of the, inside of here, get rid of the object. We're going to have span like that. That way we don't have to return anything. We'll have span, close span, right? So inside of this span, we're going to have, what are we going to do here? We're going to have the type. We're going to have a template literal in here. So let's do No, we're going to have the embedded expression. We'll do the $, brackets. And inside of this, we're going to do the same thing we did for this one because we want to have it. They didn't do it like that, but I want to have it capital and lowercase after that. So we're going to say right here, what are we going to do? We're going to access types. Let's come over here and look. We're going to access types at 0. So types at object. So object dot obj dot type dot name. Okay, so let's do that. So we're doing object. So obj dot type dot name at 0 dot to upper case. All right, plus, and we'll do obj dot type dot name dot slice from 1. And that should take care of it. Let's come over here to the preview. Let's throw Pikachu in here. Open up, search it up. Electric. Look at that. All right, and we know how this worked because we did it on the other one. We did it on the name. Let's put 1 in there. Grass, comma, poison. We can't do that. That's not cool. All right, so let's fix this up. So at the end of this thing, which is right here, the end of this map, we're going to do a dot join. So let's say dot join, and let's join it by a space. Let's throw 1 in there again. Search grass, space, poison. That looks good enough for me. Hopefully it looks good for you. All right. So that's cool like that. And I think that we might be done. We're probably going to have to do some debugging. But that's pretty much all they want us to do. Let's open up the instructions again. Because they want all this stuff, Pikachu, blah, 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 all these heights, all the numbers. And then we've got the type in there too, like ghost, poison, whatever, right? So let's cross our fingers, open the console, run the test. No! Input element with an ID. Okay. So the first thing it said is it needs required. So let's come over here to the index. Let's go over to the input and make that required. Required. There we go. Let's try it again. Cross your fingers. Come on, baby. Come on. Ah! Something's wrong. Something's wrong with the sprite. Front default. What did we put? Hold on. This is you can fast forward if you want to the part where it looks like I'm having fun. We had to have done it. Sprites.front default. Okay. ID of sprite. Element with the ID of sprite. Okay, so let's give this thing an ID of sprite. ID equals, and then we'll say sprite like that. There's space there. Oh, it doesn't say it anymore. All right, let's test it again. Come on. Yes! Ha 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 ha! And that's the end of that. I'll do this thing so you can check it out. All right. I'll do a little slow creep down so you can check out your code yourself, compare it to mine. Check out this to that. Hold on. Get rid of the instructions. Get rid of the preview. Get rid of the console. Open up the JavaScript. I mean, the HTML you should have, but I'll do. Okay, you can pause the HTML whenever you want. Well, let's go down. Let's go over here. Let me do a slow scroll. You can pause here. Okay, I'm going to go down. I'm going to bring it up to 30. So here's 30. Here's 1 through 30. Here's 31 through 59. All right, take a screenshot. All right. So anyway, there we go. It worked. Let's go through it again. It's going to take another couple seconds. I'm not going to do it sometime later. We're just going to have to go through it. Console. Running test. Come on, come on. There we go. Awesome. Looks good and submit it. Oh. All right. So that's that. Build a Pokemon Search app. That's the end of those. We could claim our certificate. I could claim it if it wasn't for the fact that they kept adding stuff to these that I just don't really feel like doing. You know, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. Anyway, so that's the end of that. That's the end of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures beta course. I mean, curriculum. All of them done. You know, I give it a high marks. I give it a 5, a 4 point. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 because of this, because of them adding things after the fact. But it is beta. But yeah, look, I can't stand that one thing that they do. And you've seen the videos. You know how pissed off I get. But all in all, 4.7. I give them two more decimal points. 4.7 out of 5 stars for this because it is useful. It's very useful. It showed us a lot of stuff that we never seen before. I sure as heck never have seen it before. I mean, it was frustrating in a lot of parts, but I didn't, see my hair falling out in the shower, so it wasn't that bad. So there's that. We're done with that. So I'm going to go on to somebody wanted me to do Python. I forgot your name, buddy. I'm sorry. But wanted me to go on to Python. So we're going to go on to Python next because all this stuff's outdated anyway. All right. And it's really easy too. So we're going to go on to Python next. And I will see you next time.